What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lord Owen, your host. This is Colts Law, and I'm here to have some fun. I am trying to expand my... There we are, my chat, so I can see. I got Chaz, I got Hazel, I got Toxic Tommy in my stream. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Hey, and while we're here, I may or may not be accompanied by a few other people that were with me because we're going to be discussing some of the OTA pressers that myself and other content creators were a part of over the last couple days. And yeah, we're going to talk about those pressers. We're going to talk about the questions. Mainly, I'm here to kind of get your guys' input. If you guys haven't watched it yet, please do so. Go check out on my channel. It's the last 5 uploads I had, right? First one being Matt Eberflus. The second one being the offensive coordinator, Marcus Brady. And then 3 rookies that we did yesterday. Kylen Granson, Will Fries, and Michael Strachan. So we're going to get to that in just a moment, but first, this.
All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
All right, we are back. And guess what else? All right, like I said earlier, please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell. That way you're notified next time I go live or upload a video. Sometime tonight, I'm going to have a Julio Jones video, but it won't be on my channel. It'll be on Dear Pats Nation, DPN, because I'm actually paid to do it for them. So they went ahead and said, hey, you know, do that for us. So I did. And if you want to see my video for that, go check that out. Also, don't forget, description below, there's a little knockdown box right below this, right here, this screen that you're watching right now. Yes, there's a little arrow. Click that, scroll down, because there's a few links there you want to check out. First off, my Patreon. Yes, my Patreon. All right. Now, there's a name that's not on this list that is a patron supporter as well, and that's Martin Hazel right there in the chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Only $5 to be a patron on Patreon. You get everything I get, including that film room that I just got done talking about. It's going to be uploaded for DPN. It'll be on there. So it's not just stuff that I do here. It's whenever I do something on anyone's channel, it goes to my Patreon. $5 a month, you get everything, including Patreon-specific stuff, including, once I have 15 patrons, I will do live streams where I will drop links for my Patreon to join, okay? And then we can just sit and chat and talk amongst, with me, all right? In a face-to-face manner. And discuss, basically just hang out and discuss whatever you want to discuss. You want to talk about Colts football? Great. If you don't want to talk about Colts football, okay. You want to talk about whether or not you want your steak medium rare or medium well, you know, that's fine by me, you know, because that's what you're paying to be there for. Don't forget, you could also use that link down there where it says Super Chat, okay? Use the link down there that says Super Chat where it says Streamlabs Tips. Same thing as YouTube. Done in the exact same manner. Only I get 96% of that. Whereas if you do it through YouTube, I only get 35%. YouTube takes 65%. And also, there's my merch shop link down there as well. Make sure to check out the Colts Law merch shop. The link is in the description of this video. There are a ton of high quality, reasonably priced items there that you can choose from. And all you got to do is just click one button and you can go and check out all these great merchandise items. Martin Hazel says, thank you. Look, my guy, I thought I had that little thing right there when I pulled over the Patriot. I thought I had it fixed so that it had your name on there, but apparently I didn't. I'll get that fixed for the next time I do live. That way your name is definitely on that list for every one of my streams that I do, these live streams, because it's important that I let everybody know about you guys being patrons. And Martin says, medium rare always. Okay. Hazel says, Eberflus discussed speed and Franklin at third linebacker. Yes, he did. That's a very, very important too, because now the Sam linebacker is in a position that's used a lot. It's less than 30% of the snaps, right? Because the Colts are in nickel and dime formation more often than they are in your base 4-3. But it's still important to have that. There's also going to be situations this year, because we are deep now at safety, we could end up seeing more 3 safety formations rather than having a Sam out there. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. There's also a situation where we're talking about, those pressers that we did. This is what this is all about, right? I want to let you know, I could not tell you guys about these pressers ahead of time. When the Colts email us and say, hey, we're going to be doing these, it's big hush hush. We can't say nothing until it happens. Once it happens, then we can do what we want with it, right? Now, the big deal is that, like with the Matt Eberflus and the Marcus Brady, we knew we were interviewing those guys, so we were able to set up our questions ahead of time. So I had specific questions that I had set up for Brady, for Eberflus, and I want your opinions on the questions that I asked, right? And other people, other podcasters, when they ask these questions, we need to know, is this stuff that you guys want to know? Now, we have to be careful on the questions we ask, because, obviously you can't ask certain questions, or you can't talk a certain way, that kind of thing, because then you'd be banned. You won't be invited back, right? The next time they do this kind of stuff. So we have to be careful. We can't ask about certain specific things, like, that would give tips out to other teams, obviously. Like, you can't ask, well, what kind of running scheme are you going to be running this year? You can't do that. Are you going to blitz more this year? You can't ask that question, right? Because then other teams will be preparing for more blitzes. If Eberflus comes out and says, well, yeah, of course I'm going to blitz more, because we don't know what our pass rush is going to look like this year, so we're going to need to send more blitzes. And then week 1, you got the Seattle Seahawks going, well, we need to have max protection most of the time, because Eberflus said he's going to be sending more blitzes. So there's certain questions we can't ask, but there are questions we can ask. And I want to know questions that you guys specifically want to know, right? Like with Eberflus, my question to Eberflus was, that we had brought back so many people on the defense, especially defensive backs this year. The only guy we didn't bring back just visited Pittsburgh yesterday, and visited the Cowboys early on, and Malik Hooker, right? We brought back everybody else. We pretty much had the exact same defensive backfield we had last year, and I wanted to know, having them in the system, in the building, familiarity with the other people and the scheme, is that important to you? And that was something that I wanted to know from him, how much that affects bringing back people who are already familiar, rather than just going out and getting somebody new that you think might be better, and he answered it exactly as I thought he was going to. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't ask the question anyhow, right? Marcus Brady, I wanted to know how he felt about the diversity in the skill sets and the physical attributes that he had at the skill positions, right? Whether that was important to him when it come to drawing up plays and utilizing the playbook and the diversity of the plays that he could use, especially since the fact, he came from the CFL, right? He came from the CFL, and they run a lot of RPOs and spread offenses and, college stuff. So that's kind of my thought, how important is the diversity that we have on our offense? How important is that to you? Because that could give us a little bit of, second-hand insight into what kind of plays and schemes that they might be running this season. Not straight up questions, obviously, but I think it can give a little bit of hint, right? Martin says that I had great questions. Hey, I appreciate that. Kari Willis in nickel. Kari Willis already plays in the nickel as a safety. Now, if you're talking 3 safety formations, see, I'm thinking one of the Sean Davises would be added in, depending upon what kind of scheme we're looking at. If it's a pass heavy, then you bring in Sean Davis that we got from free agency, right? From Pittsburgh, who's a very good free safety. He could sit there again with Kari Willis and Julian Blackman. But if it's a run heavy look, maybe 2 tight end formations or something, that's when you bring in the Sean Davis that we drafted, who is just a heavy hitter, knocker, someone that's going to lay the wood coming downhill at a running back or something. So that's why I'm saying we might run more of a 3 safety look rather than your base formations. And the reason I say that is because of the speed and agility that having 3 safeties on the field will provide you, as opposed to having another linebacker. I mean, it's not as much, it's not going to be a huge jump, but it will give you an advantage slightly in athleticism and speed. Devin Miles, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. How did Mr. Brady become the OC? I don't know. The guy can... You shed the light on his resume. Okay, so... little bit. So, he was college. He was in college. He was a coordinator and a head coach in college. Then he went to the CFL, the Canadian Football League, right? And he started off coordinator there, then became a head coach, and became a head coach not just of a team in the CFL, the CFL championship team, right? Then he came to the Indianapolis Colts and was the quarterback's coach with Phillip Rivers last year. And we all saw how well Phillip Rivers played as opposed to what he did the year before in with the Chargers. So when Nick Sirianni left and became the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Marcus Brady was interviewed and apparently won over Frank Reich and Chris Ballard and won the job as offensive coordinator. And we have a couple guys, believe it or not. The new quarterback's coach, believe it or not, was also CFL material, knows a lot about those kind of RPO schemes and spread offense schemes. So between the new quarterback's coach and the offensive coordinator, I see a lot of that being implemented, especially with Carson Wentz and the type of skill sets that the Colts have on offense right now. I hope that helps answer your question a little bit, Devin. Why does no one give Zach Pascal his respect as a legit number 2 receiver? I do. I think Zach Pascal is, like I said, I think we have 4 legit number 2 receivers right now. I think Pittman can be a legit number 1, but currently he's not there yet. I think T.Y. right now is a number 2. Just because of the simple fact that, he's up there in age. He's slowed down a little bit. He's still smart, great, knows how to play football. But I think he's now a number 2. I think Pittman's a number 2. I think if Campbell could stay healthy, he is a number 2. And then, of course, Pascal. Pascal's shown the last couple years that he could be that guy that steps up and be a very reliable receiver with sure hands and the ability to block in the run game, which, you can't down talk that too much. I keep checking over here to StreamYard to make sure I don't have somebody in there waiting on me. Very important that I don't miss them. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Zach Pascal. I like Pascal. He was given a second round tender, and no one took it. So Next year will be a different story. He'll have to, if he has another good season with the Indianapolis Colts, the Colts will probably have to pay some money for him. Otherwise, we may not keep Pascal if other receivers step up, or maybe we do. I don't know. We'll see. Really, we don't have a lot of money in the receiver department outside of T.Y. Hilton. Everybody is on rookie contracts, or that restricted free agent contract that Pascal's on. Hazel says Strachan is was really popular as an interview on YouTube. No one mentioned he was a track star in high school and college. He said he can run a 4.340 and he can catch the ball. His chances if he can. I think he'll probably make the team. We have a lot of speed, right? I mean, there's a lot of speed. DeMichael Harris has got speed, and he's a bigger guy, you know. He's kind of similar to Paris Campbell, only not quite as filled out, I should say. Paris Campbell is a freak of nature, athletic, physical-wise. He's just a freak of nature. And like I say, if he could stay healthy, he could be a scary dude, because not only is he really fast, he's very crisp getting in and out of his cuts. He's got great hands that I've noticed. I mean, that throw that he threw to him week 1 over the shoulder, when Rivers threw it over the shoulder right along the sideline, he was able to catch that ball. That was a heck of a job, hand-eye coordination and concentration as he's being tackled to catch that football. I just hope he stays healthy. Strachan, though, seemed like a really pleasant guy. I enjoyed interviewing him. I actually got 2 questions for him, if I remember correctly. That's where I want to get into with the rookies. Now, when it came to the rookies, on the interviews with the rookies, we had no idea who we was going to be interviewing. They just said that we'll be doing select rookies, right? So we didn't know. We didn't know if it was going to be Dio. We didn't know, if it was going to be Will Fries or anyone in between, or Pay. So we just had to kind of go in there with an open mind and kind of think off the top of our head. Now, unless some of these guys, I don't know. I mean, Cody might have been one of those guys that had a question for every single rookie that the Colts had, Whoa, Colts Loyalist just bought an embroidered cap from the store. That's this bad boy right here. Appreciate you so much, Loyalist. Thank you so much. Man, this cap right here is pretty darn nice. You can go check that out. Like I said, in the merch shop down below. Thank you. Enjoy that. You probably have it in the next 2 weeks. But, so I had to think of the questions. I wasn't going to write down 13 sets of questions for 13 different guys, I was just like, okay, so I'm going to have some general questions, and then I'm going to have, when they get up there, when I figure it out, I'll just figure it out on the fly. And I thought I did pretty good for on the fly. I did have a question for, there was one that I had already ahead of time. Kylen Granson. I wanted to ask him the question that I asked him because I did that film room, right? I did that film room on him. And I saw on NFL.com, they said on his pre-draft grade, that he was not a very good blocker, right? And I was like, I seen something different. If that dude was sitting right here in front of you right now, Kylen, what would you say to him? And I thought he handled it pretty well because I kind of put him on the spot, right? I don't know about you guys, if you guys would have asked a question like that, but I wanted to know his reaction. So, yeah. Also, another question when it came to Will Fries, that question I had with him. Not the one about if someone, took him under his wing, gave him tips and stuff, because, that was one of those kind of general broad questions that I had already in my head when I walking into that I could have asked anybody, right? But I thought that'd be a good one to ask an offensive lineman. And it was, of course he said, well, yeah, Quentin Nelson, kind of did that for him. So that's really cool. But the question I had for Will Fries, I never played in the trenches in college or high school, right? I was a tight end. I was a safety, Now, granted, I was a tight end. Yes, I was asked to block, but I wasn't in the trenches. You know, I was kind of outside the trenches, kind of on the edge when I was blocking. And I was curious, you know, because my coach always told me, you keep a level head, but you use the fire and the excitement to get you more, you know, things going up, right? Get you to play better. So I asked him, how do you balance that? How do you balance the fire and the emotions as opposed to keeping a level head so you don't make mistakes? And he said he don't let the emotions get to him at all. He tries to push all that out and stay level-headed completely so he doesn't make mistakes. And I guess that's a fair, reasonable explanation when you're in the trenches and you got 300-pound guy here, 300-pound guy here, 300-pound guy here, and they're all, you know, 300-pound. I mean, you got like 1,500 pounds worth of man flesh kind of writhing around you, you know. You don't want to get hurt, so you got to keep your eyes open. Man, my phone's blowing up. Hold on. And that was my alarm to let me know, hey, dude, you better be streaming right now. Apparently I set it an hour too late. Whoops. All right. So I'm jumping in. Let's get back to the questions. I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Let you guys know the reasoning behind the questions that I asked. Let's get to the chat right now. By the way, if you guys want to drop, like I said, if you want to drop a super chat or a donation or something like that, please use the link down below in the description of the video where it says tips. Okay, where it says stream, it's a direct link, or it says tips. Use that instead of the YouTube. It's just as easy. All right, it'll take you away from YouTube for just a moment, but I promise you, I will be getting your stuff. It'll pop up right here. This little spot right here. As you see right here, Colts Loyalist still is right there where he just bought my cap. This cap right here. What color was that cap, Colts Loyalist? I'm just curious. What color did you select? Because, yeah, I believe I told some guys, if you're going to buy this cap, one thing you have to worry about is, let me put this down here. There's a logo right behind it. You see where it says have a good one? No, you don't see that very well because of the collar of the hat. They don't change the embroidery for that. So remember that. If you want it to be very visible, you might want to get a lighter color than what I got, or less of a similar color than what I have right here. But what do I know? I'm colorblind, right? So anyhow, get into this. Ow, my head. Oh, how'd I hit? What's going on, Alpha Wolf? Appreciate you being here, guys. As I'm getting back into the live chat, I see I got 16 people in here. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell, make sure all notifications are turned on. That way you are notified next time I go live or upload. And don't forget the little share button right down here. You can click that, copy the link, paste it to whatever. If you want to paste it to a blog or Colts.com forums or Twitter or whatever, you know, that's on you. Go ahead, have fun. I'd really appreciate it though, because that helps me get the word out on my show. Chaz says he likes Zach too. That's cool, man. Alpha Wolf, what do you see the Colts losing from Sirianni and gaining from Brady? I don't see the Colts losing a whole lot from Sirianni, because I think Frank Reich and Sirianni were very similar in the way that they think offense-wise. You know, that's one thing that we heard a lot about, with Sirianni and Frank Reich are very similar. Bringing in Coach Brady, on the other hand, is going to give you a little bit different look, right? More of a Canadian League look, more of a spread offense that's going to be helpful when it comes to the types of players that we have, because Frank's all about trying to utilize the skill sets that he has to its fullest advantage, and I think Brady's going to help do that by bringing in different types of plays that maybe Frank Reich ain't just been using too much of. Devin says, you're brilliant, man. Very knowledgeable. Thanks again. Hey, As long as you think so, I really appreciate it, man. I just study. I just study my butt off and keep my eyes to the grindstone, ears down. I pay attention. I pay attention to everything that everybody says, whether it's Frank Reich on a presser or video that I watch or something that you guys say that brings my attention somewhere else and makes me look at something in a completely different light. I try to keep an open mind. So, thank you guys. Mark Patton, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. Chaz, Tyler Vaughn looks really good on film to me. I haven't broke down his film yet. So, that might be something I might be looking at next. T.Y. is psyched about Wentz's arm. T.Y. will be number 1 this year. Okay. So T.Y.'s already stated that it's a fact. He stated this when, I can't remember who it was, tweeted him and asked him how many yards he's going to get with Wentz throwing him the football, and he said 1,000 yards easy. If he does, great. I mean, I would love to see the ball spread around, though. I mean, if we have 3,000 yards receivers like we did, when Peyton Manning was back, he had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and what was it? I think it was Brandon Stokely that had the other 1,000, that year. And then we also had 3 guys with 10 plus touchdowns, which, that was an amazing feat as well. We have something like that, great. I don't expect something like that at all. But I just want everybody to stay healthy so that the ball can be spread around. That way no defense can just focus in on taking one guy out of the game and shutting our defense down. Right? I want to be that guy where you want to pick someone to take away, that's fine, because I've got a connection with this dude and this dude as well. That's what I'm hoping for Wentz. And that's why I like Wentz. He's been out there practicing with these guys on a consistent basis. So much so that he's out there with the rookies doing it. With the rookies! And he ain't even supposed to be there, but he is. And Eagles Nation out there saying, oh, well, he's not a team guy. Wentz sucks, Oh, baloney. Whoa! Looks like I got a new Patreon supporter. That is freaking awesome. Give me a moment. Let me shout you out because I didn't get a good look at that. I put this up. It's not showing. Let me refresh this. Devin Miles, thank you so much, man. Another Patreon supporter. That's 9 down, 6 to go. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you. I think hopefully you enjoy that. All the stuff that I have over there on Patreon, and I will be dropping more stuff because the more people I get, the more stuff I'll be dropping. Company Eagles, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. LA Rams again. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody that shows up. What non-quarterback has the biggest impact on our win-loss record? Hines is your opinion with special teams. Oh, that's a big deal. Special teams is a huge deal. All right, huge. And it's not just Hines. You want solidity in your field goal kicking, right? I mean, Hot Rod's got to be accurate. Don't expect him to hit the 50, 55, 60-yard field goals, but anything inside 45, he should knock down. He's been pretty accurate in that situation. Of course, Rigoberto Sanchez, great punter. We've been so lucky when it comes to our kickers and our special teams as Indianapolis Colts fans, and not just recently. I mean, for years, all the way back to like Dean Biasucci and Ron Stark and all them guys, right? We've been really, really lucky. But non-quarterback, biggest impact on our win-loss record. See, I'm not going to say an offensive weapon. Because in my opinion, in offense, next man up. We got depth. If T.Y. goes down or Paris Campbell goes down, then you got, the next man up. Knock on wood, none of this happens. But, if Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines and those guys, they're all very solid. It's next man up. I think the Colts will perform very well. In my opinion, it's going to be what Pay does, okay? That's what I feel. That number one pass rusher is going to be so important to our defense because we're going to get the pressure up the middle with our defensive tackles out of the 1 tech and the 3 tech between Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. They're going to get pressure up the middle. The problem last year was even when they got pressure up the middle, the outside guys weren't getting pressure as well. And we play so many mobile quarterbacks that they could just run left or right. They could just take off left or right because there isn't the outside pressure. And then they're extending plays and making things happen, right? Deshaun Watson did it to us both times we played against him last year. Josh Allen did it in the playoffs against us. Second half of the Ravens game, right? I mean, that's the problem that we're going to have to deal with this year because look who we're playing this year, right? Look who we're playing a whole lot of really good mobile quarterbacks this year. So we need that outside edge pressure to go with that inside edge pressure. And I think that's going to be the most important situation. So Pay has got to get pressure. I don't think he has to land all the time. I just think he needs to get pressure and affect the play. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Martin says, you doubt T.Y. after all these years? Phillip couldn't get him the ball. I don't doubt T.Y. I love T.Y. Hilton. I was part of the Bring T.Y. Home Club, okay? I am perfectly fine giving him $9-10 million a year and bringing him back. I don't doubt him. I'm saying that I think that the Colts have a lot of talent across the board at wide receiver, and that's why I want to see the ball spread out. Because we have young guys that I think should be stepping up soon, okay? That's what I think. And I am getting all kinds of notifications. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let me hit the reset again because my Streamlabs again is telling me the Inside the Horseshoe podcast just became a patron. What up? Thank you so much. That's 10. 5 more and I start doing live streams for Patreon only. Thank you, guys. I'm watching Culture Shock stream and this stream at the same time, William Watton says. Weird with headphones, to be honest. I bet it is. Like I said, in case you guys don't know, Culture Shock, please go check him out, man. He's got a lot of cool stuff. I was actually on his stream before I came and started mine. Talked with him, and I love working with all the other podcasters and YouTubers that are part of Colts Nation, man. We're all like a big group, and we just kind of support each other, and it's just great. It's great. Chaz says, Horseshoe, John Davis. What's going on, John Davis? Appreciate you. Keeping on here. Nano 505, 100 days till kickoff. Can't wait. Go Colts. I don't think anyone here can wait. All right. Personally, I can't wait till training camp because my butt's going to be there as long as it is open. I'm going to be there. Hopefully, I'll have media pass. I've sent the request. Hopefully, I'll get that in. And then I'll have a lot of extra content for you guys. All right. So keep an eye on that. Devin Miles, I'm trying to give a super chat, but it is tripping. Oh. Are you using my the link in the description, the one where it says tips at the end? Because that's the easiest way. It seems to be pretty simple. I've never had a problem with it before. Martin Hazel says Jonathan Taylor will have the biggest impact. I'm not going to say just Jonathan Taylor. The running game in and of itself is very important to this offense and defense. You have any idea how important the offense is to the defense? Because the longer the offense stays on the field, that's less time the defense is on the field. More rest they have, the better, easier it is for them to stay fresh throughout the entire game. They're not gassed in the fourth quarter. The running game is a huge part of that. So, yes, I will agree with you. Company Eagles Flus had some good things to say about Edge. Hope it's not just coach speak. I don't think it is. See, I just went back after see, that's funny that you bring that up. After I talked to Matt Eberflus, and he was talking about Teray and Banagoo and stuff like that, I went back and looked at Teray week 17 against Jacksonville and then in the playoffs, right? Watched his tape. Teray looked good. He didn't look good the games prior to that. But the later in the season it got, the faster, more quick he looked like he was. He was getting that twitch. So if Teray could get back and be 100%, I can't remember if he said he was 100% yet or not. I don't think he is. I think he's still waiting to get cleared by doctors after his surgery in the offseason. I seen that. I seen his quickness. I seen that twitch. I seen that burst around the edge. He still has it. That was the one thing that was worrying about me about Teray, and I think he still has it. Plus, it seems like he got stronger. Even stronger. All right? So, keep an eye out on that. And I just got Chaz8 donating $5. Appreciate you. You donated from the tips, but you didn't drop a message. At least that's not what it's not saying that you dropped a message. But hey, I appreciate the tip, man. There should have been a little place right there in the corner where you could have also dropped a message. And I could have shouted you out even more, but thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that so much. But yeah, I think, after watching that, Teray might end up having that DE2 spot. Now, the problem is, I think the DE2 spot for him might be on second and third and long rather than just, all three downs. I think he's going to be that pass rush specialist. Kind of like what Mathis was, the second half of his career where he was brought in on obvious passing downs. And I think Teray could be a huge bonus to that. Huge bonus. Company Eagle. I think 3,000 between the top three is doable, but 1,000 each, that might be a magic season if that happened. It would be. I mean, the last time we had 3 1,000-yard receivers, it was pretty magical, right? I mean, come on. Do you think T.Y. has his best yards per catch of his career, Loyalist asks? That's an interesting question. I doubt it. Okay. Andrew Luck was pretty good at hitting him on deep shots. And he came in with Andrew Luck. They had a special connection, dude. And I just don't see. I mean, could he have a connection with Wentz? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I could see him getting a lot more 10 to 15 yard catches than those 50-yard bombs downfield that we saw all the time, right? Because now I get it. Brady talked about, a lot of speed downfield between T.Y. and Paris, but that's not everything. I mean, that speed, that vertical speed, can be used in crossing patterns and drag routes, things like that as well, right? How many times did you watch T.Y. Hilton catch a screen pass and pick up 15, 20 yards because of proper blocking? I mean, if T.Y. Hilton caught a football in a bunch formation with Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal out in front of him blocking, that boy's gone, right? T.Y. would be gone. So, yards per catch, maybe not. Yards after catch, maybe so. Because there's a difference between YPC and YAC. And T.Y. might have a really good YAC this year. Martin Hazel said something and then said, nope, not saying that. Kelvin Beatty bought my tumbler. Awesome. Dude, I ain't even got one of those yet. That is so cool. Thank you. I plan on getting one. My wife is the one that had me put that up there. It was sitting there on my store as an option. I never put it up. And then finally I was like, you know what? Kim's like, you need to put that up there. People like those things. I was like, oh, okay. So thanks, man. I hope you enjoy that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I try to keep my prices down. I've talked to other YouTubers that have merch shops, like Teespring and stuff like that, and they said that my prices are way cheaper than what their prices are. I try to keep my profit margin down. That way, you know, like for instance, at Tumblr, I made $3 off that. I'm giving out secrets. I probably shouldn't be doing that. I made $3 off that. Okay? That's it. Whereas, but it's good quality. That's the thing. And the reason I'm keeping my profit down, so that way you could get things cheaper. And the other guys like Teespring and stuff like that, they said that, man, that merch shop sucks. They don't have very good options, and the items themselves aren't very good quality. The quality of items you get from my merch shop is darn good. I have bought a ton of stuff from my merch shop already, as you can tell. And I've got shirts galore and cups galore. So, but enjoy it. Appreciate you. Oh, it won't let you use credit card. It keeps going to PayPal. That's weird. See, I just set up the credit card thing, and no one's actually used it yet. That's probably the issue, Devin. Maybe I will have to go in there and check that out again. I thought I had it open for credit card, but maybe I didn't hit accept or something. That's my bad if that's the case. But you're bringing it to my attention now, so I'll try to get that fixed up for you as soon as possible. Hopefully by the next time I go live. All right. So sorry about that, Devin, if you're having an issue with that. Brian, Nomadic Brian, thanks for being here, man. Good job, you and Cody at the Colts OTA Pressers. Thank you. I thought so too. I thought we did pretty good with the questions. I've had some people tell me, Lawrence, you guys ask better questions than some of the actual Colts media during the regular pressers. So, you know, maybe possibly. See, that's weird. Chaz says that he used his credit card and he's having no problem. So maybe it's the card that it's having issues with. I don't know. I'm sorry, Devin. Company Eagles, Kimoko is my breakout defensive player of 2021. I hope and pray he is. But you know what? In a way, I hope and pray we have somebody that's a breakout player that makes the Pro Bowl, that's never made the Pro Bowl before on our team. At any level, I don't care, any level of the defense. Grover Stewart, wouldn't mind that. Kimoko Toure, fine. If Pay makes the Pro Bowl, wow. If Bobby Okereke, he's got a chance. He's going to have 100% of the snaps at Mike, right? Or near 100 anyhow. because that's the whole reason why Anthony Walker Jr. was let go. What if Khari Willis or Julian Blackmon? I want to see another defensive player besides DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard go to the Pro Bowl or select All-Pro, right? Maybe another year in the system, Xavier Rhodes ends up getting back to All-Pro form. I mean, he was the best cornerback we had on our team last year by a landslide, even over Kenny Moore. And by the way, that was another question Matt Eberflus was asked, and it was a good question. Can't remember exactly who it was that asked it, but asked who stood out during the OTAs, and he said Kenny Moore straight up stood out big time to him. So it's good to hear. Good to hear. Oh, you can't ask. Oh, well, let me go look at it and see what's up. All right. I don't know. I've never. There's a situation. All right. I ain't been here before, so let me figure out how to do this. Nope. I don't know where I'm going at. It's going to take me time to try to figure that out, dude. This is not something that I'm used to. Let's go into my settings. No, I don't know how to change it up, my guy. Not yet. I'll figure it out, see if I can't figure something out. I'm not 100% sure what's up with it. I will get it figured out, though. I'm sorry. That's really bugging the snot out of me, guys, because it's something that I really want to have everything going good for you guys today. But I'll get it figured out. Loyalists. Did I just screw something? I did. That was my bad. Sorry, guys. I went black just like that. Wow, black screen. That was messed up. That's because I Streamlabs. That was a Streamlabs accident that I forgot that I was doing. I was trying to fix something. Oh, you got it. Awesome. I'm glad. Oh, you had to sign in through YouTube. Okay. So, my boy, Colts Loyalist, who, by the way, if you don't know who he is, he's my new co-host. I told him that there was a chance that he might come on tonight. He's not here because I expected some guys to show up today, but they didn't. And that's a problem. I expected to have, 2-3 guys on here, but no one showed up. Oh well. It is what it is. But yeah, if you don't know Loyalist, he is my co-host. Please don't forget, go out there and in the link down here, there should be a link to his Twitter. Go give him a follow, all right? Because he also loves the Indianapolis Colts, and he don't have anyone to connect with. He's brand new to Twitter, okay? So go give him a follow, all right? You'd be doing me a solid for that one. And he brings up a question, a pretty good one. Who would my football dream interview be? Now, I've had my dream interview almost 3 years ago when I interviewed my favorite author of all time. I've always loved football, but I always loved reading as well. I liked fantasy books, and R.A. Salvatore was my favorite author. I got to interview him early on, and he was a Pats fan, so we talked Patriots football plus his books both. Now, I get it. Why was you talking about Pats, when you're a Colts guy? But that year, the Colts were playing the Pats, right? They were considered rivals. So it was kind of those, kind of a rivalry type interview. And then we went off. He talked about, when he was at the Super Bowl parties with the New England Patriots, literally at the Super Bowl parties where he's sitting here talking to Tom Brady, and off to the right is Aerosmith, chatting it up, or the Rolling Stones. I can't remember exactly, but I got the interview actually here on YouTube. It's one of my first interviews I ever done. But my dream interview for football, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. In all actual honesty, there's a lot of great people out there. Obviously some people be like Peyton Manning, Chris Ballard. I get that. I understand that. I understand where you're coming from on that. My guy would be Dwight Freeney, because he's my favorite Colt of all time. I'm a defensive guy. He's the guy that made me happy about Colts defense. I've always been a defensive guy, right? Back when, Derek Thomas, Reggie White, guys like that, Lawrence Taylor, and then closing in closer to like Derek Brooks and, Rod Woodson, guys like that. I loved defense my whole life. Dwight Freeney made me very happy to be a Colts fan. He's the first jersey I ever bought. He's a very well-spoken individual. I would love to interview that man. Live broadcasting comes with the territory. Yeah, I guess it does from time to time. I'd have liked to have a beer with Steinbeck. Wow. That's an interesting conversation right there. Steinbeck. Nice. I messed up somewhere. I'm not seeing... Kelvin Beatty just bought himself a Colts Law mouse pad. Dude, I haven't used a mouse pad in so long. I hope it works out great for you. Probably wouldn't mind having one myself. I've never had one. Guys, I'm telling, man, you guys are like seriously out here hooking me up, getting your guys self stuff. I appreciate it so much. Believe it or not, that's something I haven't picked up yet, because like I said, I haven't had a mouse pad in forever. My last mouse pad was actually a Colts mouse pad, right? So yeah, it wasn't a Colts Law mouse pad, but it was a mouse pad. Don't forget, this is Father's Day month, right? June. You guys got dads? Some of my Colts Law gear would be great Father's Day gifts. Just throwing that out there. Hey, I gotta sell my merch. What do you think? Right? And don't forget, man, I got 10 people in my Patreon now. I need 5 more. 5. And then I'll start doing that live stream stuff with all you guys. Let's get back into the questions. Actually, I've already covered all the questions. I'm all the way down at the bottom. There's no new questions. What am I going to talk about? Guys, here we go. If you guys have already watched all 5 of my, or even some of my OTA pressers, question-wise, throw in what question would you have asked the specific people that we had interviewed? Whether it had been Brady, whether it had been Eberflus, Kylen Granson, Will Fries, Michael Strachan. Of those 5 guys that we had pressers with, what kind of questions would you have asked? That's what I want to know. Because I'm trying to get to know the kind of content you guys want to see. And I'm sure you guys want to see the content. I'm sure you guys want to see us part of, pressers, ask questions. I know you guys got to have questions for these guys. What are they? Because maybe we might end up having another situation like that, and I'll remember that question. Or even if I don't, at least I'll have an idea of the type of questions that you're going for, right? Does that make sense? And that's all I'm here for, is to try to do right by you guys. What do you think about Defoe and Pay playing together? I don't know. Just sounds scary. Chaz. Chaz. Oh, you didn't say Pay. You said Dio and Defoe. Ooh. Okay. So Grover Stewart. I love Grover Stewart. Love me some Grover Stewart. I think Dio is more of a Tyquan Lewis type player, where he's kind of a middler between defensive end and defensive tackle. Can play one or the other, but doesn't excel at either one. But Dio's physical traits are so similar to DeForest Buckner's, right? And he just plays with like this reckless abandon. I don't know. I did that film room. Have you guys seen the film room that I did on him? He plays with such reckless abandon. He puts out 120% on like every play. And he just goes out there and just does everything he can to try to get past the guy. And sometimes it almost looks like he's not in control. He's just wildly trying to get past the offensive lineman to get back there, in some kind of Tasmanian devil flurry, right? Either way, I think on passing situations, having Dio on the field would be a scary, scary thing beside Buckner. Whether he's on defensive end or whether he's sitting at defensive tackle beside him. Yes, I agree. It is a scary situation, but I don't expect to see Dio this year at all. He may, but I don't think he'll be ready to play before week 12. Okay, because he didn't have that same, even though he had the injury on the exact same day Eric Fisher did, he didn't have the same doctor do his stuff. So it's going to be a longer recovery process for him. College level medical as opposed to NFL professional medical. It sucks, but that's how the world works. I've heard Dio being actually longer than Defoe. Now, he's got longer arms for his height. Defoe's actually taller by like 2 inches, if I remember correctly. But both of them are incredibly lean, incredibly long, very strong for their size. Actually, I think Dio might end up filling out more by the time he's able to start. Devin says, "Oh my God, I got the screen and it said transaction failed. Use PayPal. I'm so sorry, but I tried." It's all good, Devin. There's a situation somewhere. I don't know what it is. I thought I opened it up, but maybe there's just an issue there. I'm sorry. Yeah, can you imagine stunts with those two? Chess says, yeah, agreed. Yeah. Well, the thing is, we have a guy who's really good at stunts. Kimoko Toure is nasty at stunts. So's DeForest Buckner. Those two working together, I think, will be scary as well. Okay? I would like to know how hard it's been to learn how to be a pro without a set position to learn. Probably a better training camp question for Fries. That might be a good idea. And I may actually be able to ask him that, during training camp. It's a good possibility. We'll find out. There might be situations where I might get some Colts Law merchandise, maybe get some players to sign them, and then I'll have giveaways or something like that here on my channel. Just throwing ideas. Not saying it's guaranteed going to happen. But it's just ideas that maybe could happen. I don't know. How much experience does Fries have at center? That's an interesting question, Jack Crumbless. I don't know. I know that he has played both guard positions and tackle. And honestly, I don't think Fries is here to play center because we have two decent centers on the Colts roster. We have one good center and one Pro Bowl center. Like all pro, because Ryan Kelly made the all pro second team last year. So I don't think we have to worry about Fries playing center. Because we got a backup to him as well. We have a pretty good backup. Good Lord, let me look and see. I can't remember exactly right off the top of my head the name. Because it's an odd name. Give me 2 moments, because I think Eldon Cramp. Now, it's weird, because Our Lads has Joey Hunt being the backup to Ryan Kelly, but I think Jake Eldon Cramp did a pretty good job filling in for him. I think he'll be fine. So, that's my thought. Let's get back to the questions. Okay, question. Nomadic Brian. Waiting to hear this. What do you think Kwity Paye has to work on to be NFL ready? Simple and easy. Counter pass rush moves. He's got good regular moves. He knows how to make that first initial, whether it's a swat or the arm lift or the spin. He's got lots of initial moves. It's the counter move. When you try a spin on him, on somebody, and he gets, chest pumped out and pushed back, what's he going to do on that? Because if the offensive lineman wins on the first move, Paye usually loses that battle. He doesn't have a lot of counter moves. He needs to work with Robert Mathis to kind of gain and get a repertoire of counter moves to make Paye special. Okay, that's what Paye needs. Just wanted to drop you up. Loyalist said none. Buck Dancer, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. It's been an hour and 5 minutes and I'm still going live? What? 18 viewers. 18 viewers. Seems like I had more than that. Oh, well. You guys are very active in the chat, and I appreciate that. Won't take your Google password. That's weird. Anthony Hurt, what's going on? weird. Let me refresh my Streamlabs to see what's up. All right, I'm going to have to get in and look at that and figure it out because other people seem to be having okay. Chaz and Kelvin, they seem to be doing all right with Kelvin Beatty and Chaz 8 seem to be guys that are not having any problems with it. Now, I don't know if they were using. I think one guy said he was using a credit card, but it didn't work, and then another guy said his credit card did work. So I don't know. I don't know if there's what the issue is there. What's going on, Hurt? Appreciate you being here. I know he doesn't get talked about, but Des Patman is a big receiver, really strong. I think he can be a great blocker, but I'm not sure. Don't get to see much of him. Chaz, you're right. There isn't a lot to watch. You know, we'll see a lot this preseason, though. That's the good thing about preseason. Last year, we didn't have preseasons to see Des Patman very much, right? And other young players, you know, your third, fourth, fifth string guys. This year we're going to get preseason, which means I'm going to have film work to break down. And you guys are going to get to see that. So don't forget, please, you know, share my stuff out. I'd really, really like that. The more people that sees, the better. I'm up to 20 viewers. Yay! Thanks, guys. Do you dream about plays our star players will make during the season? Martin, I don't dream about that. My issue is 2020. Like, I'm watching a film room or I'm watching a live game and I'll see something happen. I'm like, oh, man, if that guy right there had just done this instead, that play would have been blown up. You know? That's the kind of stuff. Like, right as it happens, that's what, you know, the kind of stuff that I go through. I don't really sit here and think, man, it'd be nice if Jonathan Taylor broke 2,000 yards. What would that look like? You know? I mean, some people daydream like that. And I kind of sit grounded a little bit. I think mainly because I've seen so many bad I didn't just live through the Manning and Luck eras, right? I lived through the bad eras. You know, the 80s Colts when, you know, we couldn't even beat New England, right? And when I say New England, I mean New England when they were bad too. When Buffalo and Miami were, you know, the head of the AFC East, because the Colts were part of the AFC East back then. So I'm kind of grounded and level in that kind of situation. I'm curious about Des Patman myself, Brian says. I hear from some that he may not even make it, and there's a reason for that. There's only 6 spots at wide receiver that's going to be available. And there's a lot of good play. The top 4 is taken. Gone. There's only 2 empty spots. You got Patman. You got Michael Strachan. You got, what's his name? Ticking me off because I can't remember his name now. I'll get there. Just give me a moment. Doolin. Who's another guy? Wait, did we release DeMichael Harris? Oh no, DeMichael Harris is there. No? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, DeMichael Harris. I didn't see him for a second. I was like, oh crap, did we release DeMichael Harris? Because he's a guy that's in the runnings as well. There's only 2 open spots. And we got a lot of depth with really young, high-ceiling receivers. Which is why I think the Colts will be passing the football a lot more than what people are expecting. Loyalist says, will our D be able to score as much as last year? Dude, we had like 3 safeties and 3 pick sixes. I doubt it. That was a ridiculously good scoring defense the Colts had last year. Got a lot of good, lucky opportunities. Generally, teams don't end up with 3 safeties and 3 pick sixes on a team. If we do, great. It's going to rely on our pass rush. I'm going to tell you that right now. How good our pass rush is. If our pass rush is good enough to get quarterbacks to throw errant throws, then it's possible. I'm not going to rule it out because I think the Colts were like 2nd in defensive scoring in the NFL. I think something like that. What's going on, Ty Tittler? What's going on, man? Hopefully they don't use that as I'm cussing. That's an interesting name to say live on YouTube, my guy. Ty says, do you think Julian Blackmon has Hall of Fame? Little early to say that. He was a rookie last year. I think he's got a very high ceiling. I think that he needs to take a step to be more efficient long term. It was brought up. It might have been Loyalist, as a matter of fact, that brought this up on the last live stream that we had. His knee injury. He believes that he came back a little too soon. Second half of the season made it a little bit more difficult, and he couldn't play as well. Hopefully, this offseason, having a full rest, getting it full 100% healed, he'll be able to play a lot better and more consistent throughout the season, rather than just blowing up early and then ended up not doing so well against the pass last year. I think he gave up something like 120 quarterback rating or something like that when thrown in his direction. It was awful. Don't quote me on 120. I'm just saying it was really bad. It was up there in the 100s and some. But I think he has a very high ceiling. He just needs to stay consistent. Brian, I lived through the Steve Ettman era. Oh, yeah, I was there too. I was well before Steve Ettman. But, yeah, I got you. I got you. Jeff George and Mike Patchell. Yeah, that's me. Jeff George, Jack Trudeau. Yeah. Patchell was way early. I don't technically remember him because that's when I first became a fan. But I was like 8. All right. That was like almost 40 years ago. Buck says, you may have already touched on this, but do you think Strachan will make the 53? And if so, can he be a solid contributor? I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to get 30-plus receptions or 300-plus yards. Because, like I said, I think our top 4 guys have those 4 slots locked down. So if he's one of those 5th or 6th guy that makes the 53, I think he has the possibility to do so. Yes. I think he has a fair shot to do so. I'll get a better look at training camp, but I think he does. I think he's one of 3 guys that are fighting for those final 2 spots. Could he be a contributor? Yes. A big contributor? Probably not, like I said. He's just not going to have the opportunities to do so. And that's the only reason that it would be holding him back, I think. That and youth. That's all it is. Just because he might be a healthy scratch sometimes. And if he is, that don't necessarily hold it against him. It just means that, we got a lot of really good receivers on the Colts that are underrated. I think Pay, with his silverback body, is going to come in and learn from his surroundings and wreak havoc. Dio and his record-breaking reach right behind it. Anthony Hurt. Maybe. To be honest, Morrill was still quarterback for the Colts when I got started, Brian said. All right. Oh. Hazel with a super chat on YouTube. Appreciate you. Wentz is constantly downplayed by network pundits. Doesn't anybody remember Peyton and the Colts going 6-10 and 0-1? I'm 57. I remember more. I'm 45. I remember that crap. 2000, wasn't the Colts like only won 2 games? Was it 6? I thought it was like 2 games. Or 4. Anyhow, I remember it was bad. Andrew Luck is one of those rare first-round quarterback picks that, actually had a winning season in his first year. It almost never happens. And yes, you're right. He is downplayed by most network pundits. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad situation. A lot of times you could use that to fuel your fire to get better, to prove them wrong. Okay? You and I and Colts fans, we see and know better. We understand what's going on. And a lot of these network guys, they know it too. But it's all about getting the clicks for them. It's all about the money. It's about the Benjamins. And the more negative or shocking their takes are, the more clicks they're going to get. And the more clicks they're going to get, the more dollar bills they're going to get. And that gives them security at their job. I'm going to tell you how I feel, whether it's good or bad, and give you my honest opinion. Do I need the money? Do I want to get paid? Well, I'm a red-blooded American. Of course I do. But I'm not going to use the system to do it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion up front. And then you can take it as you want with it. Brian says, I remember Peyton in those first couple years thinking, well, I think this will get much better soon. Imagine that. You know what? Did you watch the Reggie Wayne thing that just came out with the Colts, right? I remember when Reggie Wayne was drafted. They didn't put this in that video. Marvin Harrison did not like Reggie Wayne. Marvin Harrison alpha dogged Reggie Wayne when he got drafted and got into the Colts training camp that year. Alpha dogged him. Straight said, I am the number 1 receiver here. I kid you not. Okay, I remember that. But to be fair, he was the number 1 receiver, right? And he was the number 1 receiver year after year after year, and he had a right to be alpha dog. Oh, yeah. Okay, Hazel. Okay, I remember now. The 98. Okay, yeah. And then Mora got fired, and Dungy got hired. Mora was the coach when Reggie Wayne first got drafted. Yeah, okay. How's Sam Ellinger? Good, interesting question by McChicken. What up, McChicken? What's going on? Appreciate you being here. Thank you. I've heard some positive things about both the Colts' second and third string quarterback, believe it or not. I've heard Sam Ellinger is doing very well. There was reports. There was a question about Sam in the interview that the press conference I was part of to our offensive coordinator. And he said that obviously it's only been a couple weeks, but he looks like he's learning the playbook and looks efficient. So, he's not going to upplay or downplay him by any means because he is a rookie, and most rookies don't get upplayed or downplayed in OTAs. The people who upplay or downplay rookies and OTAs are media guys, right? Your local and national media, they're going to upplay and downplay those guys, but coaches generally try to give you kind of a bland, vanilla outlook on it because it's 2 weeks. It's the first 2 weeks of working out with the team. You really ain't going to find a whole lot when you're not even in pads yet, right? But he seems to be doing fine. There's no negativity, so that's always no negative is always a positive, right? But thanks for asking the question, man. Appreciate that. I saw that. Remember it like yesterday. Same as drafting it. Yep. Playoffs? That's a freaking meme. That might be the most popular NFL meme in NFL history, right? Guys, I caught a fly in midair. Sucker was flying by my head and I snatched it out of the air. That's the second time I've done that live. There's another one too. It's smaller though. Moving a lot quicker than the other one was. Anyhow. Chicken says Cam got hurt. I heard. Yeah, like messed his hand up. Yep. Hand injury. No broken bones, but possible ligament damage. I heard about that. Everybody's saying, oh my goodness, your third string quarterback. Your backup from last year will start. You know, hearing people talking about that, and I'm sitting there going, no. I'm sorry. If Cam gets hurt and can't play, then I will bet you money your first round pick will be starting. I'll bet you money. Ray won't like it, but I bet you money he will. But anyhow. I think it's cool and says a lot about our guys that some of the vets stuck around with the rookies. Some of them did, you know, right? Dwight Freeney ended up leaving because he didn't fit in the scheme, the new 3-4 scheme. Just Dwight wasn't good at playing standing up linebacker-wise, and that's why he ended up leaving. I believe he went to Arizona at that point. Robert Mathis, though, standing up, led the NFL in sacks, standing up, 19 and a half 1 year, right? So, yeah. Who's Mel Kiper? I hated the Reggie pick when it happened because everybody wanted defense, right? Yep, but he came to be Reggie became a favorite player of Colts fans of all time, many Colts fans. You know, just because of his work ethic and what he brought to the locker room and how he presented himself. You know, there's nothing like watching Reggie Wayne drive up to the complex for training camp in a dump truck and a hard hat, ready to work. Right? You remember that, guys? Do you people remember that? Man, that was so fun to watch. What game or games are you looking forward to? Ty asks. Week 1, week 2. Week 1 because week 1, right? Who's not looking forward to week 1? Week 2 because it's going to be the toughest game in on our schedule, period. The Rams. Rams are the toughest team that we're going to be playing all year. And we'll be playing it most likely without our starting left tackle. And that could be a problem against guys like, you know, Aaron Donald. Then, of course, I want to play the Ravens because I want payback. The Bills because I want payback. McChicken, who's in here and is a Patriot fan. The Patriots because the last time we played, we got the smoke crapped out. You know, you got the crap smoked out of us against the Patriots. So I want to beat the Patriots. Those are some games that I'm really, really looking forward to. What's going on, Nano? Julio's going to scratch Patriots off his list. What up, Nano? Let's see. Put down fly traps so your hand doesn't crush the fly before you... Ew! 0194D. No, thank you. I don't know where the two... I don't have flies all over the place. The last time I caught a fly was about this time last year. It's the last time I saw flies flying around. And then I saw two just now. And that's weird. Oh, well. Cam hurt his back when he rolled his SUV in Charlotte and missed some time. Is Pay not a perfect fit for us character-wise, let alone the Predator-looking body to back it up? Pay's a great guy. Pay seems like he's a great guy. Very respectful, humble. A guy who's... It doesn't seem like he's a big speaker. It looks like he's someone that's going to try to let his actions speak more than his words, and I like that, especially in a rookie. Okay, so 97, we drafted a linebacker. You talking about Quentin Coriat? Just curious. Was that the year that we had Quentin Coriat? It's been a while. Nano says he's got his ticket for the Colts Arizona game. That's freaking awesome. Awesome. Not the Ravens. Okay. Yeah, we smoked you. Josh Gordon had his first touchdown as a Patriots against us. Yeah, I remember. Company Eagle says that Reggie was actually the BPA and we just didn't see it. Yeah. A lot of the defensive guys, he was especially BPA once the Colts traded back to the last pick of the first round, right? That's when they were like, Reggie Wayne was still there. He's BPA because a lot of the higher up defensive guys got taken. Looking forward to Brady Wentz. Oh, yeah, Tampa Bay. That'll be a good game as well. Tampa's got a really good... Tampa may have the best run defense in football. It's between them and the Colts, when it comes to run defense-wise. And it'll be a very good test for our offensive line and our running back core. Looking forward to that. Loyalist says, you're going to hear it first. He's got pay for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, that'd be nice. He'd have to be a Pro Bowler in order for that to happen. But that would be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been here for an hour and a half. And it's time for me to end this stream. You guys have been so freaking awesome today. I absolutely love talking with this. McChicken said that when we had Anthony Walker, he would have said that the Colts had a better run defense, but now he's in Cleveland, so he's giving it to Tampa. And that's a good point. I loved Anthony Walker. Great run defender. He was a better run defender than what Bobby Okereke is, but Bobby Okereke is better against the pass than Anthony Walker, so maybe he'll step up now that he doesn't have to split time, not only with Anthony Walker, but also playing Sam position. So But I'm going to jump off here, guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you. That one guy, what's up? Appreciate you. Well, good show. You earned my like. Have a good one. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell so you're notified next time I go live. And as usual, thank you guys so much. Have a good one.